Hey everybody, how you doing? So we hit 5,000 subscribers on Saturday, and I kind of have to do that, mandatory celebratory dance thing. I'm not actually going to get up and dance because I've gotten a little overweight since we moved, and I don't need to be running around jiggling on screen. But I do want to make a post for those of you who are new, because it has been a bit of a journey to get here, and I think it's just crazy that it's gotten to where it is now. Um, when I first started this channel, I can't even tell you when it was now. It's been at least a few years ago. It was originally just a place that was my own little sort of. I was dumping videos there that were like old school point and click games, like uh, Trail at Krondor, King's Quest One, Quest for Glory. I was just uploading things once every few months. I would play an old school game and put it up on YouTube and just have that as sort of like a documentation place. And then eventually I started doing game developer diary stuff there from my time as creative director on the Saga of Leucemia MMORPG for the 7 years that I worked on that project. And um, after that, I started doing like playthrough videos. Like I think I did Icewind Dale, Baldur's Gate, all old games. I started off doing old games, and that eventually got to just something where I think it was the end of 2019, beginning of 2020. I just started to put more time into it and start upload more regular videos. Like once a week, I started to do regular content, and it was never, it was always just something I was doing in my spare time. And then the channel continued to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow, and playing some PlayStation games with other games. It was always a gaming channel first and foremost. And up to the point early 2022, it had started to get to the point where I was starting to incorporate book reviews and show reviews. All of the things that I was passionate about had started to make their way to the channel. And I remember at the beginning of 2021, I had, like I said, I had never done any promotion on the channel. It just organically grew over the course of time. I think at the beginning of 2021, I mean, I could go in and look at the actual analytics at some point, but maybe we'll do that next time we do the analytics look. But I was, a few hundred followers by the beginning of 2021. And by the beginning of 2022, we had started to get to the point where Chris and I were noticing very regular and steady growth. And we said, okay, we can kind of track now when this channel is going to get to the point where it's going to get monetized. And we were in February, and I'd had a few viral videos before that that had gotten up into like, 25,000, 15, 25,000 views. Those were my biggest to date at that point. And then the Rings of Power trailer hit for the Super Bowl. And I just randomly happened to make a video about it because I had been following the production of Rings of Power with great interest because it was going to be the second age and Numenor. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be so amazing. And then I saw the trailer and I went, what is this steaming pile of shit that we're about to get from Amazon? And then I went online and found the Vanity Fair piece and I went, what the hell? So I made a couple of videos about those things. And lo and behold, little did I know that that was going to become this, wave of you know, universal international interest from people, and that was the creation of the bearded dwarven princess persona at that point. Not the persona, but just the identity that grew out of that. Because the joke was always, I was constantly harping on how Disa didn't have a beard and all dwarven women have beards, and someone made the comment about, hey, you make a better dwarven princess than she does, and I went, I'm locking onto that, I'm latching onto that, and so I've been using it now for like, you know 8 months or whatever it's been. Um, and believe me, I would love to cut the beard off, but at this point, it's become sort of a part of the identity, and it pays the bills. So I'll deal with it. Although I've still haven't trimmed it. It's over 2 years now, and it's scraggly as all get out, and it needs to be trimmed. Anyway, history lesson for all of those who are new here. So that was when things really took off because we were around 704. I think it was a 744 or 747 followers in February, and it rocketed up to like 3,000 followers really quickly. And then, I got my first real big viral video that got like 50,000 views, which was the one I did about Corey Olson going on IGN and claiming that bearded that the dwarven women didn't have beards, and I called him out on it. I said, "That's you're absolutely. And how can you be a Tolkien professor and not know Tolkien's own lore?" And that was my first big viral hit. And then since then, my Rings of Power videos have steadily helped grow the channel, and we've incorporated the Wheel of Time and House of the Dragon and Star Wars, Obi-Wan, Andor. I've got the upcoming Willow show. We're doing way more shows now. I've done more gaming. I started getting streaming. The important thing is that when the channel got monetized in February, Chris and I were literally already in the middle of a move to where we are now, which was we bought a homesteading property, um, and we're moving out to the boonies to start a new life. And it happened at like the worst time and the best time, because right as everything was kicking off, I had to move, and there is something known as a cost of opportunity. So my first like 2 weeks of that, I was getting 30 to 50,000 views per video, and then I had to go offline for like 3 weeks, and then coming back from that was you're gonna lose some of that interest, and that's okay. I'm giving some context for people here. And then coming back from that, we moved in March, and then at the beginning of May, we had a discussion about whether or not I was going to go out and look for work again, or if I was just going to start to see if I couldn't make YouTube a viable career. Because YouTube had been growing, and we were looking at the numbers going, well, if we can hit these minimums, then we should be able to actually make a living off of YouTube. It won't be a luxurious life, but it'll be we can keep the bills paid. Um, And so we made that decision, and on June 1st of 2022, I went full time on YouTube. And since then, I've been doing analytics videos. At the beginning of every month, we cover the month prior, and we talk about the growth, and we talk about all the cool things that have happened to the channel and the way things have been growing. And what was amazing to me this month in particular, the month of October, um, it was our biggest month in terms of videos and how many videos were being produced, as well as the amount of money coming in from the ad revenue is getting better. And more importantly, it was our biggest month in terms of subscribers coming to the channel since like back in, I think, April. So I mean, we've been pretty steady every month, like 340, like 340, 350 per month. It's been a very steady growth every month. And then this month, we're way beyond that. I think we're going to end the month with more than double that. I can't, we're still a few days out, from the end of the month now, but this month's growth has been amazing. And we've got people coming from all around the world, and I've got people that are coming here for all sorts of different reasons. Obviously, we do a lot with Rings of Power, but we're also doing the Mondays in Middle Earth show that people tune into. We do the all the game stuff I do: World of Warcraft, Star Wars: The Old Republic, Lord of the Rings Online. I'm playing like Baldur's Gate 2 Enhanced Edition, Star Wars: The Old Republic, EverQuest 2. We've done some other stuff. Fallout 76. Do a lot of gaming, and the gaming has always been the core of what this channel has been about, and the other stuff is just what's grown around the gaming. Because I mean, at my heart, I am a game developer. That's my kind of like my day gig, and has been for about what 9 years now or something since 2014. Um, yeah, before that I was a writer. I'm still a writer, but I haven't, needed to go writing for contracts for a long time. Um, but I made a living as a travel writer, photographer, marketer, videographer for many years, and then, got into game development, and have spent the last since then working on that. And that's our latest project over at the Patreon page. And having seen this channel go from at the beginning of the year 740 some people to now having crossed the 5,000 follower threshold, it's just there's a part of me that I know some people have seen faster growth than that, and great for them. I think that's amazing when people can see explosive growth. I feel that the growth has been very steady, getting like 300 per month. We did have an initial burst when the Rings of Power stuff was first kicking off, but since then people have just genuinely followed the page. and had lots of great things to say. And I think one of the things that's so rewarding for me as a small content creator is the amount of people who support the channel. Um, a lot of you out there do super thanks on videos, which is great. It's awesome, and you leave little notes, which is so cool. Like I think the most videos, the videos that I get the most super thanks on are the Mondays in Middle Earth videos. When I'm doing the read through of, I mean, I think we're wrapping up actually. I'm recording this on a Saturday to go out on a Monday before the next episode of Mondays in Middle Earth, which will be coming after this video. And I'll be reading the last chapter of, I think it's the last chapter. I'm gonna double check my Kindle real quick because I think I'm reading the last chapter of Two Towers tonight or tomorrow for Monday morning. I'm double checking here. The Choices of Master Samwise. So we are in chapter 10 of the Two Towers. So that's about to happen. Um, so seeing people who, even though those videos don't get huge numbers, I get the most support from people in those because people are genuinely interested in those. But we also get like my Icewind Dale videos and a lot of my Star Wars Republic stuff, just everybody coming out. And then the live streams with people doing super chats and stickers and supporting the channel, and also the memberships, which are the main focus of the channel right now, as we're trying to grow memberships to 100 members by the end of the year. Um, and we're doing lots of new things. We added 3 tiers of memberships at the request of some of our members who were like, "Hey, we love doing super chats, but maybe you could do more membership options and let us just pay monthly instead of doing one off." And I was like, "I am happy to do that if that's what you guys want to do." So I added those options. We just started doing the Battlestar Galactica um, rewatch series for members of the Adventurers Guild for our members here on YouTube. So I mean, the channel is constantly evolving, and I think the best part about it for me is I haven't had to adopt a personality. Like you'll see a lot of guys, and yeah, that's probably the most quickest. It's probably the quickest way to get growth and the quickest way to like blow up is like make hate videos or um, be a persona like Asmongold or Doctor Disrespect. You know what I mean? Like I mean, it gets views, and I haven't had to do that, and I'm very glad that I haven't had to do that. I'm also very pleased. A lot of people have said that one of the things they appreciate the most about my Rings of Power rant videos and the reviews of the episodes is that on the rant videos, it's like you always say that it's a rant, but then you have a discussion, and it's like a rational, calm discussion. And I was like, yeah, because the rant thing is that's clickbait. It gets people in, it gets the algorithm in, and then we have a discussion. But also, people were talking about how I do the 2 different reviews for the show. I do the lore based review of saying I'm a Tolkien fan, and then do the fantasy based review of just generic fantasy show. And they were like, you do these really weird, like biased versus unbiased reviews that are very refreshing because instead of just shitting all over the episodes, you're actually giving credit where credit is due and saying this is good, this is bad, here's why. I appreciate the fact that you appreciate the fact that I'm trying to be genuine in what I do here on YouTube. Because I could literally put on a do-rag, or put on my bandana and wear a pair of glasses and do whatever and become a persona and just be like, and make stupid comments on the internet. And I don't have to. I'm able to just be myself. The person you see here every single day is me. So thanks to those of you who have been supporting that journey, and I just want to say thanks to those of you who've been following along and like my channel enough to subscribe. Um, I was only going to do a quick little 5 minute thing. I'm already 15 minutes in, and I feel like I just want to keep talking. So I used to do the Mondays in Middle Earth episodes. Um, Sorry, not the Mondays in Middle Earth. My brain just had a seizure. I used to do the Monday Musings episodes. I did like 80 episodes of those, where every Monday I would do like a 45-minute this, talking with people about life, travel, moving, things in between. And I haven't done one of those in a few months now because I started doing the analytics videos. And I was like, you know what? I do enough now where I'm live streaming like, for a couple months I was live streaming like 12 hours a day, and then I've cut that way back this month because I've been doing more video production, and also because the sun is finally starting to get out. I got to get the chicken coop built, and I got to get the rescue cat shelter built, and so I've been out there like every morning for a few hours, like hand cutting wood with a handsaw and hammering nails and sealing with things with paintbrushes and um, you know, life. And maybe when winter gets back here, I might start streaming more frequently. But I figured I was doing enough streaming. I get the life stuff out of the way during the live stream, so I don't really feel compelled to do the once a week updates. So it's kind of nice to sit here and just chat with people for a little while. And anyways, this is supposed to be a thank you for 5,000. Obviously, the next goal is 10,000. And the question is, how quick do we get there? Is it going to be a slow, steady 3 to 500 per month? Take us the next 15 months to get there type thing? Or is it going to be, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to look like. Because I'll tell you what, one of the things I changed in October, because I knew I was going to be doing less live streaming because I needed to be outside doing work and helping Chris and stuff. Chris and I literally drilled down and looked at the analytics and we said, it's great to have support from super thanks and super chats and stickers and memberships. Those are all great. But people have fluctuations in their amount of disposable income. So we can't necessarily rely upon the transaction revenue as the baseline for paying bills. It needs to be based off of the ad revenue from YouTube, which could always go away. They could change the amount they pay us, but good things are coming from what we've seen from YouTube. Like they're going to start monetizing YouTube Shorts next year. They're adding the ability to do super thanks on Shorts next year. They're going to be making it easier for other people to get monetized. YouTube is doing lots of good things. And in any case, the one thing we looked at was even though it's great to have the support from everybody and we love the support and we hope you can continue to support, we also understand that kids can get sick, a car can blow up, you can lose a job, somebody gets sick in the family and needs to go to the hospital. There are a million things that can crop up which reduce the amount of disposable income someone has to give to a streamer like me, or a content creator like myself. And so Chris and I have really been just focused on getting as many videos uploaded to YouTube as possible, um, to generate as much possible evergreen content over time. What that means is I've been putting out like 7 to 8 videos per day on an average day. I think the lowest I've done is 6 in a day. Now, these are not like I don't have a production team. It's just me. Um, and I'm not trying to create videos that are going to generate, you know, tens of thousands of views per video. I'm creating a lot of stuff that's already been done before. So, like as an example, like my Baldur's Gate 2 playthrough videos. Not a lot of people are going to watch those, but the people who do watch those love that game and they follow the channel because they're passionate about it. Star Wars: The Old Republic videos. Not a lot of views for those because it's an old game, but the people who do watch it appreciate that I'm doing it, and so those people come along board. When I play new games, I get lots of views because it's a new game. That's great, but I like to do lots of different things. My Star Wars Andor videos, as an example, do not get a lot of views, but the people who do watch my Star Wars Andor videos love those. And so even if those only get 100 views, that's 100 people who enjoy the fact that I'm creating a piece of content for them. Even if that video only generates a few cents in revenue, that adds up. And so when you start doing the math, we did the math on that the other day. And I like to do transparency, and I'll be covering this with my next analytics video, which is coming up in a couple of weeks to cover the month of October. But Chris and I did the math on it, and we said if we had 2,000 videos that were bringing in 2 cents a day on average for revenue, that's $40 a day in ad revenue, just base ad revenue. And if you do that times 30 days, that's $1,200 a month. That's after taxes. That covers our bills and gives us some money to put into the savings every month. So it's one of those things where for us, I think that we looked at that and said, I would rather focus on doing that because I can easily do 6 to 8 videos a day. It's grueling. I mean, I sit here and I do video production for 8 hours a day, and then I stream. It's 6 to 8 hours a day of video production. Plus, I work on the game dev stuff for a few hours a day. Not a few. It's usually like 2 hours a day on the game dev stuff because it just kind of depends on what my brother needs. That's very much in our spare time. So video production 6 to 8 hours a day, weaving the void stuff for a couple hours a day, and then streaming for about 4 hours a day, sometimes as many as six. And so, I'm putting in usually a 12-hour day, sometimes a 14-hour day. Um, but doing the basic math, putting out just 6 videos a day, we've still got the month of November, December. There's 60 days there that I'll be able to get, 360 videos out, plus another however many I got out in the month of October. So let's just say we got 90 days times 6. I'll get a minimum of 550 videos out between October, November, December by the end of the year. So if you've got 550 videos that are all generating um, 2 cents a day in ad revenue, that's $11 a day in ad revenue. And if you remember my goal for the end of the year, I talked about this with the analytics video. My goal for the end of the year was just to get to $10 a day of ad revenue. Well, I've already hit that as of the beginning of October. So now I'm just adding to that. So it's like, all right, now if we've already hit our goal and we're 3 months ahead of schedule, how far can we push that envelope and get it by the end of the year? And so now we're looking at if I can add another 550 videos on top of what I've already got, then theoretically, I should be able to get to the point where I'm earning $20 a day in ad revenue by December by adding these additional videos on top of that. So the long story short is that I'm creating lots of different types of content. So no matter who you are, you should be able to find something that you like on my channel. And if you've come here for one of the various pieces of content, welcome. I would like to say welcome home because hopefully you consider this a good home. Hopefully you will join our Discord. Hopefully you'll stick around for all the other stuff. I do a lot of different things here because it's also we're doing the shorts. We have the community posts. Like today, I've been updating people on taking the cats to the vet. I'm gonna get a little teary-eyed right now. I had to take my two little babies in to get spayed, and these are our rescue cats, and you know Dora showed up with Luke and Leia, and everyone who's been around you guys have seen them grow. You watched them grow from when we first moved in here in March, and we got these two little feral kittens with fucking Luke was running around hissing at everybody, and then Mama Cat turned out to be pregnant, and then we had to, I couldn't just throw those 5 kittens out, and we couldn't find homes for them, so we I can't, I had to take them on. And so we tried and no one wanted to take them. So after 2 months, I gave them names and they became, Frodo, Sam, Smeagol, Merry, and Pippin. And Frodo, Sam, and Smeagol got neutered a few weeks back. And it's never a big deal for the boys, it's not a big deal. But the girls, it's always a traumatic. And I'm crying because we dropped them off this morning and Chris wanted to go back in the afternoon to make sure that they were okay and let them know that we didn't abandon them because they have to stay overnight with our vet. And we went in and it was like 5 o'clock. I'm recording this at like 6:30 now. I guess it was more like 4:30. We went in at 4:30 and the the vet tech was like, oh yeah, they're fine, they're being peaceful. Do you want to, let's go in. And we went in and Chris and I were talking, but as soon as Pippin heard Christina and I talking, she was like meow meow meow, just like all like just panic mode, like mommy daddy you're here, mommy daddy here. So the vet let us open up the cage and we were giving her cuddles and hugs, and she's purring and she's traumatized, and she doesn't know what's going on. She's wobbly because the anesthesia is wearing off and she's got surgery. It's for the good of them, but it's always trying. And Mary was still under the effects of anesthesia, so she didn't get up. And then as we were leaving, Pippin was just crying her heart out. And I was like, I have such a I have a big softie for cats. Not so much with dogs. Dogs are cool, but I am a cat person. And so anyway, the point I was trying to make is I am very much living my life in front of you all on YouTube. And um, thanks to those of you who have been genuine enough to follow along, to support. A lot of you have helped out with the cat GoFundMe. You know, we did the first cat fundraiser for Luke and Leia in June, and we raised like, I think we asked for like $300. We ended up raising like 500, which was great. And then we've had the GoFundMe for the other 5 kittens going on for the past couple of months. We've raised like $830 or something. It's still going on, so those of you who can, yeah, anything you can do to help out, because we've got the outdoor cat shelter being built. We've still got to get them all vaccinated. They don't have any of the like the normal vaccines. Even Luke and Leia don't have vaccines. They've had their rabies shots, and that's it. Because they're rescue cats and they weren't in our budget. We spent a lot of money to move here. We paid in cash for everything, so it's like we were not expecting to have 7 cats plus the mom. So all that help has been amazing and genuine. So thanks to all of you who have been here for all of that and following along the journey since we moved. Because really, most of you, obviously, there's 700 of you that grew with the channel over the course of a few years, um, and then there's been a whole slew of you, like 4,000, ish people who have. My math sucks. It's not 4,000 ish, but ish. Um, there have been a whole bunch of you, several thousand of you, who have joined since the beginning of the year, and literally right when we moved. So you've been following along with us as we've moved, and a lot of you have been following along in the journey and being involved in that process. So thank you so much. Welcome to the community. Um, Give me 2 seconds. I need to answer my brother here. Copy that. He's not feeling well, so no Minecraft tonight. Usually we play Minecraft on Saturday nights with him and my nephew, his son. Well, I missed them horribly. We haven't seen them since December of 2019. We were there for a whole month for Christmas. We came home, and then COVID hit, and we haven't been back up. It's been 2020, 2020, and it'll be 3 years that we haven't seen the kids and my brother. We're gonna try to get up next year. Um, anyway, guys, I got all teary. I feel like I felt when I watched or when I read, I bawled my eyes out when I read that chapter with Smeagol and Frodo. When he touches Frodo's knee as they're sleep. It's that scene where Frodo has his head in Sam's lap, and he comes back and he touches him, and it says the way that the light hits him, he looks like a wizened old hobbit. And you see all the evil stripped away, and he's like reaching out, wanting to have this genuine connection moment. I cried like a baby when I read that scene. And then when I did the review here on YouTube, I cried like a baby during the review. And those of you who are be prepared. I get really emotional when I watch TV shows. It makes Chris laugh. Chris, she knows when something's happening on screen because of the way I am now. We've been together long enough, like 12 years or whatever. She knows when I'm watching something, and if I'm about to start, the waterworks are going to start, because she'll start poking me, and she's like, "Are you crying yet? Are you crying?" It's like, you know what? Just leave me alone, because I get emotionally invested in the things that I read and when I watch. And those of you who are watching the reimagined Battlestar Galactica with me on Saturdays, that rewatch series, which I guess it's going to be 2 times a week starting in November for our members. Those of you who are watching that, be prepared to watch me cry a lot, because there's a lot of stuff in Battlestar Galactica. I will cry multiple times through that show. So be prepared for that. Anyway, we're 30 minutes in. This was not supposed to be a 30-minute episode, but thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Onwards and upwards. Yeah, and Chris has said that now that we've got the cats all spayed and neutered, cat shelter's almost built. As soon as all that's ready, I think Chris is going to be starting to stream again with me on Sundays, which she hasn't done since Christmas. I think the last time she streamed with me regularly was in February, right before we moved, because then she's just hasn't had time. So theoretically, Chris is going to start streaming with me on Sunday mornings again, and we're going to be streaming probably World of Warcraft or Lord of the Rings Online or something. So you'll be able to start seeing Chris more regularly on my live streams as well. Yeah, thanks everybody. See you next time.